This is part 2 of our Henry cleaner, the one which was dead. Unfortunately, the first video we were interrupted and I had to stop filming. I could have put it all on one upload, but I don't have the editing program on my computer. I'm not very good at editing on these iPhones. I tend to lose the whole blinking video. Anyway, we got as far as confirming that the mains lead was fine, and the next thing we wanted to do was to check the switch. So we checked the switch and my meter is in the bleeping position, not the resistance, just a bleep. And if we turn the switch on, I'm going to have to use another hand for this, aren't I? So we turn the switch on, it's not plugged in of course, and now we should get a bleep across the switch contacts. The positive side is fine. Well, we've got these across here like that. That's with the switch in the on position. Now there's two blue leads here which I have taken off, which obviously one comes from this side and the other one comes from that side, and there's nothing there. So what I've done is I've just hooked them together just lightly like that, just for a quick test, and we can, I mean this is okay, you might think that's a bit fucking, oh excuse the French, you might think it's a bit hodgepodge, but it serves the purpose, because now if we switch this switch off before we plug in, and now plug it in, and now carefully, without blowing ourselves up, we switch on. So there, back in the off position, and pull the plug out. Remember, the coil on the top, that's just sitting there on top of the ring gear. There we are, see, as I say, there's the lead, it comes through there onto those contacts, onto the ring gear there. We could put that there. So there we are, that's confirmed that the open circuit is on the switch. The motor's fine, the lead's fine, but that switch there. Now, what I'd like to do also is to check the speed control. These sometimes work for a while, and it's not plugged in yet, there's the plug. And we'll switch it on here because I want to check the speed control now. So we'll plug it in, the machine will come straight on. The contacts are holding together okay. This is not, it'll come straight on as soon as I drop this down. It just wants to drop down onto that. So we've took the plug out. Always take the plug out before you touch anything. So there we are. The problem is the switch. So now we've got to order a new switch. With these Henrys, there's no point in ordering an on-off switch for a Henry, because you'll get the wrong one. Underneath the handle here, you'll see the model number and serial number, and it's vital that you get those. So there's the model number, which is, looks like a PPR 200A, and the serial number is underneath it, which is on this one 141805222. And if you go on your chosen website, I usually go to eSpares, and if you give them the model and the serial number, you should get the right switch. I only say should. We've all experienced this before, because the Henry vacuum cleaners, they change. They look the same, but they're not. All Henry vacuum cleaners, there are so many different modifications to the casing, to the motor, to the switching, and of course it's all for the good. Just that you must use your model number and serial number when you're ordering these parts. I've already photographed the switch complete, so that we know exactly what wires go to where, and while I'm waiting for spares, all I do is I leave it as it is. I put a note on it what part we're waiting for, and that's it. It'll sit there until the part comes. It usually takes about 5 days for us. So there we are. So that's another repair job on the Henry cleaner, using a meter to go through from the plug pins right the way through the fuse, which is in the plug, and then the fuse in the plug. Now this is a well, how many watts is it? It's 1200 watts, which is, what's that, about 1000 watts. It's about 5 amps. So you have to use a 13 amp fuse in the plug, because nowadays you can only get 3 amp and 13 amp fuses. It's a bit strange, but that's the way it is. Anyway, so you check your fuse, then you check your lead, and you should give the lead a good shaking while you're checking it with your meter, because it could be intermittent. And then after that, so you check your ring gear, because these very often break off, those little things sticking up there. There's 2 pairs of them, and that's where they go on there. That's your ring gear. After which, check your switches, and then there may be a thermal fuse on the motor, a thermal cutout reset thing. Not a thermal fuse, it'll be a reset. And because if this gets overheated, they will cut out. They should come back on again, and the motor's calmed down. And if that's not it, you check your brushes on the motor, and if your commutator's okay and the brushes are okay, then you've probably got an open circuit in the field winding, and you just replace the whole motor then. The genuine motors for these are £95, or you can buy a new one for 105 quid, the whole cleaner. So it's not worth it. You can get alternative motors for £35, which is worth it. But we were lucky on this one, or the owner was lucky, it's only the switch. So we'll order the switch now, and there we are. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Thank you for watching. This is Accordioncafe, saying over and out. Bye for now.